Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt Rose.
And I'm Jessica Bun Bun.
We are here with our reaction and review for House of the Dragon, Season 3,
hmm
Episode 1. It has been a very, very long time, guys. We have been hearing, and we say this as non book readers, but we've still been hearing about the Battle of the Gullet for years and years and years. It's finally here. How are we all feeling in the aftermath
Oh,
of it?
I'm feeling it has delivered in spades. It was wild.
It was so intense, heart pounding. I feel a little bit for the show, and I'm not going to fully defend everything in season 2, which was not perfect. We did not need 3 weeks of Damon playing House and Harrenhal with ghosts, but
No.
at the same time, this. In a different world, 10 years ago, this would have been episode 9 of season 2. And it felt a lot like episode 9 of season 2 while watching it. It just feels like this show, like so many others in this new corporations, people who don't want to spend money, like they're running things. And it's just this got pushed and pushed and pushed. And now we are here in season 3. And even if this once upon a time would have been a awesome penultimate episode to season 2, like, what a way to start a season. We've been away from the show for years, and now we have something that is epic, action-packed. We lose a very, very notable character as well.
Yeah, I mean, losing Jace, that was a really big loss for the show, a huge character. But who out there, let us know in the comments, who's really sad about that, honestly? He was not a character that I ever connected with in any way. He was being super bratty about this. He made some terrible decisions. There was a reason why Rhaenyra was going to go and do this and not him. He is not seasoned enough to do so. He didn't know what he was doing. Twice his dragon got harpooned and pulled down into the ocean, and the last time he just couldn't get out of it.
If you guys are new to the channel, Jess and I, we entered the world of House of the Dragon with very different allegiances. Jess is very much Team Green.
Team Green, welcome back. We messy.
You're messy, but at least your characters are alive. Meanwhile, over here on Team Black, we have Jace, who admittedly is probably my least favorite character on Team Black. Like, I'm sad for Rhaenyra. I'm sad
Hey,
for...
you guys don't have coal.
Well, okay, that is a win. We're gonna pat ourselves. But we also are dealing with a ragtag group of misfits. Like Team Black, our capital city is hubris at this moment because we have basically these kids who are out here running around on dragons. We're putting our hopes and dreams into Ulf, who is just sort of like, where's my castle, bro? And we have a bunch of people who don't know what they're doing, and that is like our key to success at this point.
Yeah, and a bunch of teenagers that are out here riding dragons. We got Sheep Stealer who's just doing whatever he feels like doing because he's brand new to having a rider, and he's just out here burning this ship, that ship. She's like, oh my God, not them. Oh my goodness, that's my sister. Like, it's all just going so sideways. I don't know why she decided to go in. I know she wanted to help.
Yes.
But she knew that she was not able to ride Sheep Stealer just yet.
Okay, Reina, I have a lot of questions, but first and foremost, yes, time was of the essence. You did not have a lot of opportunities to prepare for this, but is there a testing ground with dragons you can go to? Is there like dragon boot camp? Is there anything? But this, you already knew that this was a notoriously hard dragon to tame.
Yes.
Sheep Stealer, beyond just having a very cool name, has a
Favorite.
My favorite, Moon Dancer. You're still out there. You're not attacking your other fellow dragons, but Sheep Stealer, no understanding of what's going on here. Sheep Stealer deserves to be your favorite just because Sheep Stealer is causing the most drama.
Sheep Stealer's also just, he's out there trying to share. When he came back and we dropped out those 2 sheep and barbecued them, I was just like, man, Sheep Stealer, you got a big heart. But yeah, he's not trained yet. It was very, very, very messy over on Team Black as well.
Everything in this episode was messy, extremely entertaining. We do have a lot to break down in between everything at the Gullet, what's potentially happened here with Corlys, the latest on Rhaenyra and Alicent's relationship or lack thereof now. But before we get into anything more here, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are going to be here throughout all of House of the Dragon Season 3, breaking things down, sharing theories, and of course, having a great time with all of you. We love hearing what you have to say about the episodes and what's to come in the comments.
Absolutely. We're also finishing up From right
Mhm.
now. We're covering the Vampire Lestat, and we've got Silo coming up very soon. So hit that subscribe button and stick with us. And if you want more House of the Dragon content, we're going to have more videos going up on our YouTube memberships here. So if you join our memberships, you will get those videos, and it also helps us out here at the channel. So thank you so much.
Thank you guys. We very much appreciate that support more than we can tell you here. I'm going to start off here in a very risky position. I'm going to try to defend Jace. I'm not saying I'm going to enjoy doing it, but I just feel like
Oh,
here
see yourself
no,
out. He got that dragon killed.
he was not smart. I will make that clear. He is very unsmart with his tactics, but he's trying to protect his mother, and he's trying to make sure Rhaenyra stays okay because he recognizes what she means, the symbol she is to everyone. I think he recognizes not everybody is going to follow the lead of someone else. Like, they already have all these people trying to get on board Team Black, and it's because Rhaenyra, who has trained her entire life to be in this position, is there. So I think his heart is in a good place. His brain is somewhere far beyond the Seven Kingdoms, because this is the problem. He is so young. He's had just like the teensiest amount of success on his dragon. And I think what happens here, and this is a very good metaphor for real life, is that when you're young and something goes your way, you just like start strutting around, you're feeling
You
yourself.
think you're invincible.
Yeah, and I think that's what happened here. I mean, he's always been a position of power. I think he just felt like no matter what, it's all going to be okay because Rhaenyra, she's destined to be the queen. They're not going to let anything ever happen to me, even though you already lost your brother.
Listen, there's also a third option, and I saw a little bit of it there while he was talking about, hey, this is our opportunity. Let's go out and do this and show everybody who we are. Rhaenyra, on her way to her dressing room, was basically like, don't worry, if anything happens to me, you'll be king just like you want. And that is clearly something that he's been wanting but hasn't really been expressing, but she's been able to feel it off of him, that he's just waiting for his opportunity to be the person in charge and take power. And him having his mom locked up while he goes out and does what she was going to do is sort of staking that claim that he is the person that should be on that throne, even though he shouldn't be. And I think there was a part of that I saw right before he left where he had that little bit of a smile of like, I'm going to go out there and show them who I am and what I'm made of, and that basically I'm king. I was just like, ooh.
There's just such a youthful arrogance that's present here, because initially there was this part of me.
Yeah, eat an arrow.
I was just, okay, all right, Jace. Yeah, you did kind of have it coming. But I was wondering, Bela, could you have talked him out of this? But I think at the same time, when you are a young guy feeling yourself like Jace, I think her thought process behind going there, writing Moondancer in, was just, I'm going to be here to make sure nothing happens to him.
Listen, that's the thing, is that when your man is out here riding dragons, he doesn't know what is going on or what he's really up against here. Your woman, sometimes she got to fly in and make sure that you're going to be okay and save you when you're going under into the ocean. She tried the second time, wasn't able to do it. Sometimes you just need your partner there to back you up. When you got some bad ideas.
Yeah, and I the other problem, and this really stems into a ton of other storylines in this episode, nobody's really operating with the full picture here. I think,
Right.
Jace and Bela, they don't know that Rhaena's gonna come in and Leroy Jenkins the whole situation, and it's just like nobody has the full set of information, including Rhaenyra, who really becomes so intent on doing this because of Alicent's visit at the end of last season and this trust that she has put in this person who went through so much to get there in the first place.
Listen, Alicent really is trying to do the right
know.
thing. Like, she really gave Rhaenyra all the right information and was like, I'm here. This is what I'm willing to do. All you have to do is sort of promise me and these people freedom. You can have my son. We'll get Aemond out of here. I'll send him off to Harrenhal. Don't worry. I'll leave the door unlocked. Come on in. We're doing this. put our hands in, let's go.
Yeah.
And I understand why Rhaenyra believed her, and she should believe her. This is going to turn into like another situation of complete misunderstanding of things that are happening, where now you've got Alicent back at home realizing that, you know, Aegon is gone and she doesn't know where he is. And now you've got Aemond who's like, I'm king now, I'm not going anywhere. And she's like, oh no, like, what am I going to do with this? I have no way to really get a message to Rhaenyra in time, so I gotta fix this before she gets here.
Okay, listen, I have been trying to recruit Alicent over to Team Black
No,
for a
thank
very,
you.
very long
thank
time. Listen, she's my favorite character on Team Green. Olivia Cook's
She
my
is.
favorite actress probably on the entire show. And it's just everything that happens to her, it's so bizarre because like everything turns out badly, and yet I can't really blame her for a lot of it. Like she's trying to honor her husband back in season 1 and what she thought she heard at the time. She's
Yes.
trying to do what she thinks is the right thing here, but it's just once again and again and again, she falls victim to hearing the wrong information, not having the wrong information. And I think she is intelligent. It's just a case of really, really bad luck. And as somebody who has been rooting for Rhaenyra and her to just make up, I thought we were at the point of no return with this before. I think we have found a point even beyond that, because after losing yet another child, Rhaenyra is going to feel like she's lied to. She's going to feel like she's been hurt. Again, she's probably not going to be willing to hear Alicent out, even if Alicent comes in as like, hey, you know, I didn't know all these other things were going to be happening, and she would be telling the truth.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm really hopeful that Rhaenyra is not going to blame Alicent for what happened to Jace, because Jace really confronted her himself. Like when she was trying to get out and, you know, her guard is like, oh, I can't. It's a command from Jace. Like she knows what he did without Alicent being part of it at all. However, it's all going to end up being big picture is my fear, that it's going to all fall on Alicent, because she'll be like, well, if I didn't have this information, Jace wouldn't have done this and he'd still be alive and we'd all be whatever, alive for now.
I think it's a really interesting parallel in this episode between Rhaenyra and Alicent when it comes to both their strengths and weaknesses. I think for
Yes.
Rhaenyra, her real strength is being out there leading, like taking control from this position of strength. And that's why if she was at the Gullet on her dragon, I think she probably would have survived, because I think she's really built for that. I don't think socially she's as good or as adept as Alicent, somebody who has had to navigate through so many positions. And we have these parallels between here is Rhaenyra and Jace having a conversation. Rhaenyra ends up not getting what she wants out of that. And then we have Alicent having her own conversation with her own son, Aemond. And yes, this gets very, very weird at one point. But at the same time, Alicent does get what she wants out of it. Like Aemond does leave.
Oh my God, we are covering now 2 shows with sons that are trying to make moves on their mom or are making moves on their mom. It is just, you know, as the mom of a son, I'm just like, why is this happening so much on TV right now? But with Aemond, it makes sense. This is the type of world that we are in with the Targaryens that do have relationships with other family members. You've got her there gassing him up in a way that he never gets. I know everyone's gonna be in the comments being like, he's the worst. And there's a lot of things about him that are the worst, but he's my favorite character on the show because he's so layered and so many different things have happened to him to bring him to being the worst or one of the worst people out there, smart on top of it, which makes him really dangerous. To have your mother actually sitting there gassing you up, being like, you are courageous, you should have been king. If you were just born first, there'd be no problems. You would be king and we would all be thriving. This is the best. You got to go to Harrenhal. You got to deal with Daemon. Only you can do this. And if you do this and you take him out, imagine how much that's going to weaken Rhaenyra. You're it. And he goes in for that kiss. And man, her face, I was like, oh, I feel that, Alicent. This is just horrible. But girl, you just have to take it because you need to get it. out of this castle right now, because if you don't, then it's a lifetime of that you will end up being afraid of him and you will end up in bed with him.
I cannot believe what I am about to say, but unfortunately, you are correct in that there was nothing else Alicent can do. And I think we should all be accepting of the idea that it's awesome to vehemently dislike characters and root for their demise.
Oh, I don't root
Because
for his demise. I really like his
I
character
root for his
so
demise.
much.
Like, this is the
He's
thing.
so complicated.
I do think he is the worst, but I don't want him to be taken out on the show anytime soon. This is sort of the Jack Gleason corollary here. I can't even say that word, but I don't.
He is not as bad.
Yeah, I don't hate
as
him
Joffrey.
as much as I hated Joffrey. Like, Joffrey was the absolute worst.
He was just cruel.
Yeah, but just like Joffrey, I like having the character around because once you get rid of the character, like, who are you going to hate at that point? There's something gleeful
How dare
about
you?
whether you are Team Green or Team Black. Like, you need to have people, except for Kristen, we all agree that he sucks, but everybody else, it's great to have people on this show who you can root against and you can sort of wait and see, because this is the thing with Aemond. He's not a dummy. I think he's very, very smart. He's well trained. This is why he has survived as long as he has. Like, he has arguably the best dragon out of anybody in Westeros.
Yes.
Like, he is so well positioned. But even with all of that, you, in the midst of all your creepiness, you still decide to listen to your mother, and you realize that even though I could be there and I could probably take out a lot of people, I'm still one dragon versus potentially a number of dragons. Like, this probably isn't going to work out for me. I'm glad he wasn't there because he lives to see another day, and then I can root for him to die later.
Oh my gosh, how dare you, Team Black. Man, seeing him on that throne, beautiful. I want to see him be king so bad, even if it's just for a couple of episodes, to see how he would actually rule, because he is very strategic. He is very smart.
Yes.
But he's also very angry. He's grown up in a way that he has had a lot of bad things happen to him. He's done a lot of bad things, but he's had a lot of bad things happen to him to grow him into this angry man now. But I think as a king, I feel like he's going to have some bad moments, but I actually think he would have some good moments as well. I don't think that he's on a level of ruling as Joffrey, who just wants to watch all his people burn. And he doesn't come across that way, that is what he's looking for under his rule. But I do think that his rule would be a tough one.
It would be tough. I don't think he takes...
But compelling to watch. He's so fascinating.
Very compelling to watch. It's that he doesn't root for suffering in the way Joffrey does,
No,
but I think he does occupy this space of arrogance where he's still...
He sure does.
He's able to operate despite that arrogance in a way that's fascinating, whereas unfortunately for Jace, he couldn't see beyond that arrogance, and that's ultimately a big part of his demise.
Watching all those teenagers out there on those dragons was so infuriating.
Yes.
Because like, we're watching all these adults out here, like Lohar. Oh my goodness, what a badass. She was so fascinating to watch. It would suck that she got killed off so quickly in this battle, but I mean, amazing. Like, this battle was so good. And then you have a bunch of teenagers flying around on these dragons, causing problems, burning their own ships, chasing their own sister. It was just really bizarre to watch.
We all just need to sit down here and recognize how amazing those last 20 minutes were. I mean, we've seen great battles in the Game of Thrones universe before. Like, it's no surprise they were able to pull this off, but it's just so funny. I mean, we all loved Night of the Seven Kingdoms earlier this year.
Yeah.
I feel like this 20 minutes cost more than that entire first season combined.
Oh,
like,
1,000%.
There was so much going on, but all of the different components worked really well because you had obviously the teenage dragon fighters causing all this chaos, but then
ridiculous.
You had like real strategic thinking going on in the ships where you have Lohar, who is occupying a certain amount of emotionality here, where she is going rogue in her own ways. Like, yeah, you brought me in here to seemingly do this, but guess what? I just want Corlys dead. And
that twist was so wild. I did not expect it. Like Matt said, we have not read the books. I did not see that twist coming where she was just like, yeah, I know I was hired for this, but I don't care because Corlys did this and this and this. I'm going to burn his place down. I'm going to make him watch, and I'm going to sink his ship. I was like, oh, wow. We are in it.
We were so in it.
Revenge.
all of this was just lit, but for a number of different reasons. Like, I like Corliss. I think Corliss is very interesting to watch, but at the same time, if I'm Lohar after listing off some of the things that Corliss has supposedly done, I'm just sort of like, I get it. So I understood the motivation, but then we also get Corliss being like, I know this area. I know the Gullet. I'm going to drive my ships in here, thinking that he's not predicting Lohar's just going to start throwing people overboard in order to make sure that she can also navigate. Like, out of all the things in this episode, that probably surprised me the most, actually.
Listen, I really like Corliss as well, but I love revenge. So watching that whole sequence going through the little narrow strait and watching Corliss get through there, and she's just like, nope, I'm going to find a way through. I'm going to see how he did it. Okay, I need to be lighter. You're over. Everybody that hired me, you guys are going overboard. And me and my crew, we're going to continue on, and we are going to get him. And boy, did she did. That boat crash was wild.
It's just ripping through the other boat. Like, yeah, the effects really, really good. And then we get into,
I love a good ship fight. Like, I'm a huge Vikings fan. For anyone out there who watched that show, it is like my all-time favorite show. There is no show better than that show. But this battle was incredible.
I will admit, I'm actually not as big of a ship fight fan as you are. I like Vikings, but I remember that Master and Commander movie I went and saw. That movie was way too long, and I got really bored halfway through, so I always associate things with that. But I thought this was very entertaining, mostly because we had Lohar, who had clear motivation, and then that bleeds into whatever happens with Corliss, and we'll talk more about that in a moment. But we had this interesting dynamic between Alan Ahol and Corliss throughout this episode, where you see all this hurt and all these things that have happened in the past, and yet, despite all of that, it's Alan of Hull who really takes up the mantle of, I'm going to honor Corliss. And that leads us to this final awesome fight scene between him and Lohar, where Lohar ends up going.
Oh, pour one out for Lohar. Listen,
like
I said, I really like Corliss, but this revenge story was so good that if there was any way for her to escape and rebuild and come after him again, I'd be here for a rebattle.
Is this kind of a Pedro Pascal parallel in a little bit? Because, like, that was another character that was really out for vengeance and, you know, burned out way, way too bright. But
yes.
All right, Corliss, are you still out there or not? I feel like if they were going to take out Corliss, you would actually show it, because he's probably one of the 10 most important characters on the show.
1,000%. I feel like they're not going to just have him go out and we don't know and we never see him again. It's just out to sea. I feel like if he's going to go out, we're going to get a grand death like we did with Jace. Arrow, have another arrow.
I am worried about Corliss, mostly through this lens. When all of this chaos is happening, here is Corliss just standing and staring off into the distance. I understand why he was watching very, very bad things happen.
Yo, his whole house is burning.
I know, but I just feel like somebody may eventually be like, Rhaenyra, we were in the midst of this battle, and Corliss was just chilling over here, staring. And I don't think
not chilling.
I know, but are they going to explain the context? I don't want anything bad to happen to Corliss here.
This is the thing, is that this is a show where context does matter, and communication has been broken down into so many misunderstandings that this is happening, that we've got two houses that are both battling, that are all part of the same family.
All right, and speaking of continuing to talk about these families, let's now move over to a different part of the Targaryen family and talk about Aegon, where we once again remind ourselves the show is very, very messy, where Aegon has done terrible, terrible things. Like, he is absolutely the worst. But I do find his storyline with Larys to be really, really interesting, just because Larys is such a snake, and he's so unpredictable and so strategic. Like, you know, more parallels here. He's obviously very Baelish adjacent with some of the way that he operates, and just the whole sequence of him basically confessing, oh, by the way, this is Aegon. You guys really shouldn't kill us because of X, Y, and Z. I'm just like, you are so unbelievably smart. I also want you to die at some point, but I'm not bored watching you.
No, I am not bored watching. Listen, he had to do what he had to do to get out of the situation. They were all going to die. So instead, most of the crew is dead, and the two of them, they're being whisked off to possibly be seeing Rhaenyra. I'm not really sure what the play is after that, but at this point, I think Larys is just like, how do I keep us alive?
Larys is flying by the seat of his pants. That's at least my feeling, is that he's good at it. He'll probably think of something between now and when he ends up meeting Rhaenyra. I sure hope so, because as established on the show, Aegon, I think he's probably learned a couple of things through all of his suffering and everything that happened to him, but he never wanted to be king in the first place. Like, this guy does not know how to rule. I don't trust him when it comes to strategic thinking and know-how, like, at all.
Yeah, he should have just left the throne and given it to his brother. He never wanted to be king in the first place. I know why Alicent was pushing for it. She truly believed that her husband was telling her this. And if I didn't have the context, which Alicent didn't, about this story that was told to Rhaenyra, if I'm his wife and he's like, Aegon should be king, and my son is named Aegon, then I think he's talking about our kid. Why in any other way would I ever think that he's talking about anybody else?
I know, and this is why I still feel for Alicent. Like, I'll put it that way. I want Alicent to survive. The rest of her family can go. I don't need any of them. But Alicent,
how
you
dare you? Don't you be dunking on my Team Green. They are the most interesting part of this show. In this entire video, we have spent more time talking about Team Green than Team Black, because there's nothing going on over in this team right now.
Okay.
They are working together as a fairly good unit now that Jace is gone, probably even better. But Team Green, we be messy over here.
You be messy, but you also still kind of work. And this is the tricky thing about all of this, is that I think Team Green has more compelling personalities and has people who are probably in better situations at this point. And I think Team Black, their messiness is going to ramp up. Yeah, I'm not that sad about losing Jace because, honestly, he's kind of boring. He was just upset a lot of the time. And Bela I like, but she's not exactly popping off the screen that much either. But where I'm a little bit more interested now is that finally, you guys are recognizing that you have Matt Smith as a part of your cast.
Yep.
I don't know what happened in season 2. I don't know if he needed to just go on vacation.
I don't know.
That battle storyline made me so unbelievably mad. And that's just the problem. Other than Rhaenyra, this show hasn't been honoring Team Black enough. And maybe my head.
That's true.
Yeah, I think I'm very invested in this team, and I'm very frustrated by a lot of what they did in season 2. So now I'm focusing on this idea that, all right, here comes Daemon back into orbit. He's a very compelling character when he is used properly. Also, a lot of creep show factor going on with him too. We can't forget about that.
Yeah, I think Team Black just needs a little more of their lore exposed in a way that I can get deeper into them. Like, we've had a little bit of what they've had and how they got together, but there was a lot of time jumping through most of this and kind of yada yada over it to get to this point that now they are married and now they are together and now they are trying to get the throne back. And while that's interesting and exciting, over here on Team Green, it is messy because they're all actually kind of going through it in real time with us, where we missed a lot of that with Team Black. And I think that's why I'm having a harder time investing in Team Black than I am with Team Green, because I'm watching it all unfold as it's happening with them.
I'm just hoping that when it comes to Team Black, the entertainment value is going to rise significantly, and I'm going to get really angry because of Ulf. I don't trust you. I think you're going to do something stupid. You were already sitting over here pouting about whether or not you're going to get a castle. If you're only in this for a castle, and you also don't know what you're doing with the dragon, by the way, it's just Rhaenyra has put too much trust into these 3 misfits. Adam is the only one I kind of trust, just because I think his dragon is freaking awesome, and I would love to see more of that. But these other 2, no.
Listen, she's desperate. She needs a dragon rider. She's going to fight Aemond and his huge dragon. Then she needs more dragons. And now she's down a dragon, and she has 3 inexperienced riders. She's got Sheep Stealer, who does whatever he feels like he wants to do. And really, you only have Moondancer.
Listen, Moondancer is great.
As far as the people that, can ride and dragons that are actually listening to their riders.
This is why I think we're going to lose a lot more Team Black. Now, I don't think Rhaenyra is going to go this season. Season 4 is the final one. So I at least feel confident Rhaenyra is going to survive. I don't feel confident about literally anyone else.
That's the thing with Alicent too. Like, I know she's trying to do the right thing where they
Yeah.
had this conversation. She's like, oh no, okay, I completely misunderstood what my husband said to me. Rhaenyra's like, okay, I get why you did. You didn't have all the information. Now you do. What are you going to do about it? I'm going to find a way to make things right. Okay, that's fine or whatever. But at the same time, I mean, Team Green's a bit more prepared with this type of stuff. Yeah, they have less dragons, but they do have a huge army behind them where they're going to be able to really fight back. They're way more organized.
Yeah.
I think strategically they're stronger as well because they have Aemond over there. I know Daemon's really strategic and so is Rhaenyra, but Aemond's really been able to move these pieces around in the right way. If Alicent wasn't there to move him off the board,
Yeah.
they weren't getting King's Landing.
Okay, we've praised so much about this episode, and rightfully so. After doing this, we have to talk about Kristen and how just annoying this character remains and how uninterested I am in this whole storyline. And I hate to say it, same with Gwaine, Alicent's brother. Like, I'm sorry. I love Alicent.
Yeah.
It's just, I wish this time could be allocated elsewhere at this point. They really still have to sell me on reasons to like Kristen, to care about his storyline. I feel like we could be told a lot of what's going on with him at this point.
1,000%. We could have had Alicent write that letter as the king, and we could have read it
Yeah.
and not needed to know anything else about it. And that just would have been it. That, you know, the whole troops, they're just going to stay where they are right now. I didn't need any scenes with him at all.
No, but listen, if we're getting an episode this long and like 99% of it is really, really good, I can't be too upset about all of it.
agree.
That is where we are, though, coming out of the Battle of the Gullet in House of the Dragon, Season 3, Episode 1. Let us know. How are you guys feeling? Are you pouring one out for Jace? Are you celebrating with a toast that Jace is over? Let us know. Thank you guys so much for supporting us at our memberships. We really appreciate that, and we will see you here next time.